Hi and welcome to episode 29 of the Arya Bark Podcast. My name's Caroline.
And I'm Andrew.
And we're coming to you today from our home in Fife in Scotland. If you're a new viewer, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. It's great to have you here.
It is.
Are you done?
It is.
You can find detailed show notes on the Arya Bark website, which is aryabark.co.uk. You can find me on Ravelry as either Arya Bark or my personal account, which is Sultra.
I am Thunderboy21, I think.
Yes, he is. We have a Ravelry group, which is Arya Bark Designs. We have a private group on the website for anyone who would like to take part in the chatter and the make-alongs. You can access that by signing up under the community tab, then groups. Requested to become a member. We approve that, check that you're a crafter. Then we send the confirmation that you've been accepted, and then you can just sign in. We do not sell your information. We do not pass your information on to third parties.
Because we can barely send an email.
Hey, talk about yourself.
I can send an email, just can't send one with my phone number in it.
We have an Instagram page, which is Arya Bark Designs. We have a Facebook page, which is Arya Bark Designs, and we have a Ko-fi page, which is
You guessed
Arya Bark Designs.
We are currently running 2 make-alongs. That is 2.
Yes.
I don't know, numbers could keep up. I might create another one. The first make-along is the hashtag New Things Make-along 2021. You must be a member of either the Ravelry or the private group on the website for your entry to count. Physical prizes will be drawn quarterly. The next draw is on the 27th of June.
Yes.
That's one.
End of the month.
End of the month. Physical prizes for the FO thread. The winner will be drawn by random number generator. Mr. Bark and myself will choose an entry each month from the chatter thread, and the winner will receive a pattern of their choice up to the value of £10.
Pounds.
£10.
Dollars.
Insert your country here. Currency, not your country.
Don't insert your country here because it might be a tight fit.
Whips are allowed and multiple dipping is encouraged. Enter as many projects as you like if you can show how it's new to you. Examples include but not limited to new yarn brands or colourways, stitch pattern or designer, new technique or construction. The next second make along is the ABD StashSmash 2021. You must be a member of either the Ravelry or the private group again on the website for your entry to count. Physical prizes will be drawn quarterly. The next draw is on the 27th of June, which is the end of the month. Physical prizes for the FO thread. The winner will be drawn by random number generator. Again, Mr. Bark and myself will choose an entry each month from the chatter thread for...
And the winner
will receive a pattern of their choice up to the value of £10. Whips are allowed and multiple dipping is encouraged. If it can be measured in metres, it can be entered. So knitting, crochet, Tunisian crochet, weaving, spinning and cross stitch if you can measure it in metres. Goals are at your own discretion. You can increase or decrease whenever you like. And each person entering will have one FO thread post that all projects will be logged in.
When you're putting your entries into the FO thread, make sure you're also putting them into the chatter thread. I was about to say Fred again there. Chatter thread. To double your chances of winning a prize. Now, you can enter into the make-alongs whenever you like.
Yes.
Oh, can I remember who it was? No, it's totally gone. No, definitely totally gone. Had said that they just found the podcast and they were going to start entering their projects that they've made so far. To me, if you've made projects for this year, just at the moment, is there anything else? I don't think so.
And if there is, you'll find it on the next podcast.
Or I'll forget and it'll come up like in 6 months' time when it's finished. Now, recap of Mousie's Advent Yarn Swap 2021.
Woo!
You looking forward to that, Andrew?
Yes.
I have confirmed with Jane there is still places left. The places are now limited. If you would like to join in on the yarn swap, we will recap. From projects, we will recap what you need to do. Now, the Advent swap is a minimum of 10 grams mini skein swap during Advent. So what you're looking to do is to have 24 days, so like 24 10 gram mini skeins. It can be more, it is entirely up to you, but you're not guaranteed that the person that's given to you is going to give you more. The minimum is 10 grams. Now, you can have an extra gift for Christmas Day. That could be an extra mini skein, it can be a full skein, it can be a project bag. That's left up to you. All your mini skeins should be wrapped in little individual parcels for each day and numbered. I forgot that last week. Forgot to number it. So you can get stickers from, I'm trying to think where, Amazon. Where else?
Any craft shop, probably.
Any craft shop or pound shop
or anywhere will do sticker
any
labels.
places like that will do them, and you can pick them up really, really cheaply. You will then put them in a box. Again, you can find Christmassy boxes cheap enough. B&M have really nice big square ones at Christmas. My last two swaps have it started off in that. I've lost where I am. Jane will get in contact with you mid-October to let you know who your parcel gets sent to. Who you send your parcel to is not the person who sends it to you. It's all swapped about. She will also inform you at that point when the final posting date is, so that all your parcels can get to the recipient in time. What else I put in? And then through Advent, I'll have like wee gifts to open. There can be tree decorations, notebooks, pens, stitch markers. What else? Other crafty bits and bobs. Now, the one thing you need to bear in mind, the person that you are sending to, the person who is sending to you may not have spent as much as you. What Jane asks is that you give in the spirit of Christmas. So the old adage, it is better to give than to receive. I am most definitely a giver. I go OTD. I have lots of fun. I'm just happy it's starting in June because I'm gonna have so much fun. Don't daft. Candles. So that's another thing that I missed off my list. Candles, Christmas napkins. I think that's a bit. What else? When you have posted your parcel, you need to let Jane know that it's been posted so she can keep track of it. And also, if you receive your package, you need to let Jane know. Jane does set up a group chat where everyone says that parcel sent off, received my parcel, and then the fun begins on Advent. On the 1st of December, it's if you are wanting to take part, I will leave details down below and in the show notes on how to contact Jane. I cannot link Jane's Instagram account. I may possibly be able to link our YouTube account, but on the show notes I'll definitely be able to link both, and you can contact her. This is the 3rd year of the Advent Swap. The last 2 years have been brilliant. I'm still using my Advents for the last 2 years.
People know.
And people know. On Wednesday, I received a message from my friend Alex, who is my Yarny Corner on YouTube. Alex also has an Etsy shop where she sells patterns and yarn. I don't think she's got any yarn in her shop at the moment, but it will be coming.
And you'll need band.
No, she won't. Alex won't buy me.
You should spy it out, or will.
I might leave some for some people. I need prizes. Just saying. So, shut up, you're distracting me.
That is my job.
On Wednesday, Alex had messaged me and asked me if I would like to take part in the 6 patterns on my bucket list tag, and I said definitely on it because I've got like 5,000 patterns and I would really like to get some done. So these are my 6 patterns that I'm hoping to make at some point. One of them in the near future, another 5 hopefully at some point this next coming year.
And one of them you're currently doing.
I did say that. I'm hoping that's going to be finished in the near future.
Right.
So the first pattern, and I'll leave a picture and details up there, and all the details will be in the show notes. The first pattern is the Counting Sheep Blanket by Lisa Hannon Fox. This is a paid for pattern on Ravelry. I will also leave a wee note down here if there's anywhere else you can get the pattern. Now this is a double knitting pattern, which means you work both sides of the fabric at the same time. I have it handy. I'm in the middle of a row every time. So, could you hold that up? I'm caught. Right. What end am I on?
I don't know.
This is the side that I'm working on just now. So with double knitting, you're actually working, that is a pair of stitches right there, and you work both sides of, well, the way I'm doing it, I'm working both sides of the fabric at the same time. Now I'm sure that's called one pass double knitting. I'm not 100% sure, but I know you do get 2 pass double knitting, which means you work one colour off until you get to the end, you go back and work the second colour off. To me that's too much faffing about, and obviously these rows are long enough as it is without having to work them twice. It's easier to work the 2 of them together. Before starting this project, I had never done double knitting before. It is a colossal pain in my backside. The rows are massive. Now I have 1, 2, I'm doing 3 repeats of the centre pattern, which is like this. So it's down here. Actually, fold it in. This is, let me see, that's the chart for the centre panel, and you change how many repeats of them that you do. I'm doing 3 of them for the throw. It's done in DK yarn, which I've already got the yarn for, because as you can see I'm working on it. I am hoping to have this finished, but I'll go into more detail later on. The next project that I want to complete, that has been in my stash, in my queue for ages, and that is the Exploration Station by Stephen West. Again, that is a paid for pattern. I will leave details where you can purchase said pattern if you're interested. That is a knitting pattern. It is done in fingering weight or 4-ply. It requires 869 metres in 4 separate colours. I have full skeins of numerous colours to choose from. Pattern number 3 is the Pebbles cardigan by AK Laurie Designs. Again, that's a paid for pattern on. Now you can purchase it from you can purchase it on Ravelry, but I think it just takes you to Laurie's PayHip account and you can download it. It is awesome. Now that is a Tunisian crochet project. It takes 4-ply. I am a bit of a muppet because I am pretty sure I actually do have enough wool yarn to make that project, and I think it may already be in my stash. I just need to count, and if it's not, I can just stripe it. So that is going to be my plan. I am needing 2,515 metres. I actually don't think I need all that much. I just couldn't remember where I put the pattern to check it, because I have purchased the pattern, it's just not in my pattern hard drive. This one is a Tunisian Fair Isle scarf by Hayley Joanne Robinson. I love that pattern. It is again, that's a paid for pattern on Ravelry. It is stunning. I bought this pattern. It wasn't last year, it might be in the year before. And it's gorgeous. So I want that pattern. It is done in DK. I have more than enough of DK in my stash to actually make it. I do have lots of DK in my stash that I could use. This requires 8 colours and 1,189 metres. You can get away with just using scraps for that. My 5th project. Now, this is where it starts getting funny, because obviously I watched Alex's podcast and I was like, oh, that looks nice, oh, that looks nice. And I was like, that's on my list. So it's that one, that's on my list. So it turns out that Alex and I are doing 2 of the same patterns, or would like to do 2 of the same patterns. The first one is the boxy. I have had this pattern since it came out. I have attempted this pattern on about 4 separate occasions and I've ripped it out. I will have a boxy if it kills me.
What's a boxy?
Watch the podcast, you'll see the picture. Again, that's a paid for pattern on Ravelry. I will leave bits down here if there's anywhere else you can get it. It is a knitting pattern. I am doing the fingering weight boxy, and for my size I need 1,920 metres. Again, I have 4-ply in my stash. I am thinking I might actually just stripe it rather than doing all one colour. So that's a plan. My last project is the Big Old Coat by Joji Locatelli. Again, that is a paid for pattern on Ravelry. Don't be shocked, I've not got any free patterns in there. It's not like me. Literally, it's not like me. Again, that's a knitting pattern. It is in a worsted way. I'm going to be using Arden because it's readily available here. I need 1,710 metres. I have loads of Arden. I've got at least 2 different types of Arden going to spare. I know it's not for my blanket. Is that everything I think it is? So, now comes the time to nominate. I did ask people, or at least I thought I did. Already had 2 that had already said they were going to do it. I had actually thought I'd emailed the 3rd person and I didn't. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to nominate 2 people just now, and then I'm going to email I'm going to find out if that person's replied to my email, because I did send it. We find out if that person's replied, and then I'll discuss it next week. So the first person I'm going to nominate is Andrew. You're going to have to check on Ravelry.
Sorry, were you speaking as I could hear you?
Aye. And the second person is Jane from Mouse Knits and Crafts. Now, Andrew, how are you going to nominate somebody? You don't talk to anybody. If you would like to help a guy out and would like to take part, could you message us and let us know that you would like, and Andrew will nominate you next week. Andrew's not very social.
That's got to take me about probably a week to find parts. Especially 5.
It's going to take a week because we're doing it later on. So that is everything. I would like to thank Alex for nominating me. I'm so excited. I'm going to get started. I've already started. So that is that. Now, this is a slightly more serious topic of conversation. We like the fact that we have viewers from all over. We have them of all different colours, all different shapes, all different nationalities. As a child being brought up, we were brought up that you treat people how you would wish to be treated. A few weeks ago, one of our friends had made a comment about slightly less than, what's the word? Encouraging comments that she'd been receiving, which led us to have a discussion, and it seems that everybody, well apart from him because he doesn't speak to anybody, but has received comments that are neither encouraging, helpful, or have anything to do with the person that's getting discussed. Growing up, we were always told if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. We don't care what size you are, what your religious persuasion is, what your sexual persuasion is, what your political persuasion is, what your skin colour is. The only thing that we ask is that you treat everyone in this community with the same respect as you would expect to have yourself. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything. I love that our little group is different. We all have different interests, we all have different tastes and what patterns we like and colours that we like, and that's brilliant.
I'm mostly greys.
Andrew's going through a grey phase. I would say if you interact with us, you no longer are a viewer, you are a friend. Now, you don't have to tell me what your background is and what's happened in your life. That is your choice and that is your story to tell. I am well aware that there are members of this, our wee group, who have been mentally abused and physically abused. To me, if you have to make nasty wee digs at people to make yourself feel better, it says more about you, but what you're ultimately doing is bringing somebody else down. Don't have anything nice to say, just don't say anything. You don't know what is going on in somebody's life right this very minute. Now, say for talking's sake, Andrew can be all happy and cheery. You don't know he's on medication for anxiety or depression or whatever, because he will not show that. I know there is podcasters out there who suffer really badly with their mental health, and they come across as if everything in their world is fine when it is quite clearly not. We all have issues. If you can't be nice to somebody, just don't make comments that could hurt other people. An example would be the lovely Jane, and I'm only bringing this up because obviously I'm not saying anything that I didn't actually say to Jane's face on Friday night. Jane is doing the Beltane blanket. It is gorgeous. It's a really, really nice blanket. Would I make it? No, I wouldn't, because it's not my taste. I can see how much work she's put into it, and it is honestly a really pretty pattern. I never have been a flowery person. So flowery crochet does not float my boat. I can appreciate how much time and effort that Jane has put into that blanket. Just because I don't particularly want to make that pattern, I'm not going to turn around and say, no, I think it's hideous. Because it's not my taste, but I wouldn't say it was ugly. I think our blanket is absolutely gorgeous. Just because you don't like something doesn't mean you need to add your negativity onto somebody else's make. That person has spent time and effort making that. Another example would be Heather. Last month, Heather entered socks. The socks were scrappy, they were gorgeous. We all loved these socks, to which Heather's reply was, I'm going to have to do it again because it was wrong. Now, unless Heather had told us that pattern was done wrong, I would have worn them. I do think actually the socks were wearable, it's just she got mixed up in the pattern and it wasn't identical to the pattern that she was making. The socks were wonderful. She went on to make another pair of socks and they were equally as gorgeous.
That's why you just sit there and go, I made a modification.
Yes, Heather, it's not a mistake, it's a modification.
The Andrew method.
The Andrew method of knitting. It's not a mistake, it's a modification.
I never missed 14 rows, it's a modification.
We would like to think that we have a space where you feel you can come if you have issues with a pattern, you're needing help, or you're looking for advice, that you can.
Must have been the knitting stuff go to her.
Don't ask Andrew for knitting advice, because Andrew doesn't know what an SSK is.
Slap, knit.
How do you execute it, Andrew? Because you clearly did not execute that in the Raffles hat, dude.
You slap, then you knit the ones that you've slapped.
We hope that it's an encouraging place to come and show off your projects. We are asking members of your community to be nice to people. Don't get me wrong, there is certain people who nip your head. It happens often. You don't have to engage with that person. You don't have to openly go out your way to engage with that person, but if you do have to speak to someone, you could at least be civil. So that's all I would like to say. Oh, actually, in the immortal words, I will end it in the immortal words of my lovely friend Jane, who put a post on Instagram. Blowing out someone else's candle does not make your candle shine any brighter. And never a truer word has been spoken. If you need to bring somebody else down to make yourself better, it kind of says a lot about you. We were brought up that first and foremost, you're a human being. You have certain rights. It doesn't matter what your religious persuasion. We have Catholics, we have Protestants in the family, we have gay, straight, bi, sexuality in our family, we have politics. I honestly couldn't tell you what my family members' politics are, because that was the one thing that was never openly discussed. but we don't care who you are, where you've came from, or what your background is. You will be welcomed in this community. All we ask is that you respect everybody and be nice, because we're a lovely bunch.
Not so much.
No. He can be a bit dodgy every now and again. Andrew, would you like to make an apology? On that note of being nice to people.
Yes.
Andrew has an apology.
This apology goes to Alex from my Yarny Corner, and it was on a Friday night natter where I made the comment,
I don't know where Andrew got those views from. What do you say to Alex?
I am very sorry
For his inappropriate comments. Oh, none of that, young man.
Yes, Mummy.
It was offensive. Andrew does have a filter missing.
Yes. What you doing?
Which is why this is now completely heavily edited, because we have to cut out certain slips of his filter. This week there is just a whole load of knitting. We have coming in, going out, StashSmash. We have got a new section called the Naughty Corner. Whips, UFOs and lined up. You can find timestamps for each section in the description box below.
I don't know if I want to know what's in the Naughty Corner.
Any Marion, it's going to be you. On Friday. Actually, there's a whole story about natter on Tuesday that went completely peaked on. So on Tuesdays and Fridays we have Zoom. Andrew had an appointment, got Andrew to his appointment, got home in plenty of time, in record time actually. I wasn't even speeding.
Yeah, that's
I got home in 15 minutes.
That's
I
just
wasn't even speeding.
That's just what she
I
says.
was having a leisurely. I told everybody I am going to be late. I know for a fact I'm going to be late because I don't know if I'm going to get held up on the road back. I'll message you all when I'm home, been to the toilet, got my cup of tea, ready to start. So I thought, well, I've got plenty of time. I'm just going to have a leisurely drive. 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Who knew? So went to the toilet, got my cup of tea, set everything up, logged into the room, having a natter. Oh no, sorry. First one to go was Heather. I got a message from Heather, my internet's cut out. I was like, well, we're still here, so just take your time, get yourself sorted, and we'll just let you back in. And the next thing, me and Jane were talking, and we were having a laugh and a carry on, and the next thing, it just completely cut out, and I was like, what happened there? So I tried to log in again. I was like, that's weird, that has never ever happened before. I tried to log back in. Internet lost. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. My internet went out on Tuesday. My internet came back on Thursday morning.
Wednesday. It was
actually
back
the early hours of Thursday morning.
It was back intermittently.
It wasn't, because
Wednesday.
on Wednesday I have several messages on my phone.
You were right.
From, we have an app on our, well, it's not an app, it's a device on our boiler that monitors the boiler, and every time the internet goes out, it'll come up and say I don't have any connection, internet connection lost. The culmination was we'd bought stuff off Amazon and then BT. So Ryan had messaged and says there's stuff coming from Amazon. I was like, bro, they're normally here be about 2 o'clock, that's fine. He's like, oh, by the way, BT are saying they're needing, he says, oh, by this point the internet was fixed, and he was like, oh, BT's saying they're needing to send an engineer out. He says, I'll do that when I come home, and I'll do it for next week. And I was like, no, that's fine, that's no problem, bro. I'm sitting here minding my own business, watching for Amazon coming, no sign of them. Next thing my door goes and I was like, oh, it must be Amazon. Went to the door and there was BT standing going, I'm here to fix your internet. Long-term viewers will know, a few months ago our internet went out, and when it came back, half it was missing. Now, just to clarify, we are here, the junction box is there. If we got any closer to the junction box, we would be sitting on top of it. The first problem was squirrels had ate through the cable. Then there was connection problems there's two separate, because of the area the junction box covers, there's two of them, like diagonally across the road to one another. And one of your lines is in one junction box and the other line's in the other junction box. And the connection between the two junction boxes had broken. So they fixed it. Well, did it not break again? So he came out to fix my internet. Whether it's working or not, I don't know. Because he's claiming that everything's fine, Ryan's saying it's not. But he was in. Now, our door to the living room sits in that corner. The BT box is down at the bottom. Sitting it in a way, and I seen a van, and I was like, you have got to be kidding me. Because obviously the guy had all his stuff out and was working away. And I was sitting there going, oh, it's Amazon. Then I seen all these boxes. And boxes. And boxes. And I was like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. It's Amazon. So I said to the guy, I says, look, I'm really sorry. I says, could I get past you? I says, I've been waiting on Amazon all day. I says, and that's then just showed up. No, hen, you're fine. Went to the door. Dropped him off. We need ID. Now, I've been ID'd for Amazon before, and all they require is your date of birth. Well, this dude, I need to see a passport or a driving licence. I was like, what? He's like, I need to see a driving licence or a passport. And I was like, you've got to be. I was like, there's a dude behind my door. So I went in, came back, showed him my driving licence, and he's like, that's great, there's obviously something sharp in the box.
What was the sharp thing, mummy?
I got ID'd for stitch holders. Now, I thought, oh, that's a bit weird, because the only other thing, obviously we went through the boxes, there was literally nothing else sharp in the box. The only two things were this and a pair of ratchet
spanner
things for Ryan. Now, it did have wee bits in it, so obviously obviously I opened all Ryan's parcels, but I never opened it to see if it maybe had a knife or something in it. And Ryan assures me there is no knives in this thing, it's just somewhere for your thumb to hold on to for you to ratchet it. Nothing sharp. Which means that's what I got ID'd for. 36 of them. Now, the guy for BT must have thought I'd completely lost it. Because all you hear is, you have got to be kidding me, that's what they ID'd me for. No, it's no sharp. No sharp at all. None of them are. What do you need to ID me for? That literally topped my week off. So, these are for my northeasterly blanket, so I can add extra bits on. I don't think I'll be buying any more for Amazon. Good job it wasn't British Gas that we're in, because they don't even let you in the same room when they're working. So I would have been stuffed. So that's my coming in. And my rant is over.
I have it going out.
Oh, Andrew, when everybody's going to be going, oh, I wonder if he's finished his habitation throw, his star stitch blanket. Nobody's seen this.
Nope.
When did you start it, Andrew? 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. By 9 o'clock last night, Andrew was like, I can't remember how to bind off.
This is the tippet scarf, shawl, whatever it is, from Sardar of pattern 8206. That's it. I've got a wee hole.
Do you want to demonstrate?
That?
Move that up from your neck. Do you like it?
Yes. So that, I'm quite happy how quick it took me to finish this.
Andrew sat for a good 10-15 minutes just stroking it.
And also spent about half an hour ripping it back, going forward, ripping it back.
It's quite nice.
It is. There are certain lumps and bumps when I added a stitch and I had to take away the stitch.
We did have to.
It's a bit lumpy bumpy.
It got quite wide at this point. And he's got a hole.
That's probably the stitch I missed.
He lost a hole, added one in on the wrong side. Just watch that hole. Because that is actually a drop stitch and it's going to ladder. Right, while you do that, I'll fix this.
It was in the yarn Sindar Alpine, which is a Sardar.
No, where did the cinder come from?
I don't know. Alpine, which is a super bulky. I don't think I've got a ball band. It is shade number 402, which is seal. It is 100% manufactured fibre, polyester. It is you get roughly 33 metres and 50 grams. I used 114 grams, or roughly 75.3 metres, and a 10mm needle.
You've actually finished them.
I know.
In record time. Well done. My going out is my northeasterly that I think I've just impaled a stitch marker. Last week I was down here, I just started this. Can you hold that? I've added on 1, 2, 3 colours in my second strip, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, another 6 colours. The first one that I finished is this one here. This is Attic Spin Dye. It is a blanket ball. Now, when I got my blanket balls, I numbered them all. This is, I think you get 12. It is some sort of sock blend. The blanket balls have different blends in them, so I'm not entirely sure what blend that is, but it's definitely a sock yarn. I used 4 metres and 1 gram, because that was my wee section. My next one is this one here. This is coming back to the Advent. This was from Raylene last year, which is number day 18. Again, it's a sock blend. I used 16 metres or 4 grams. So that's another one. This one here. Oh no, I missed one. This one here is Rusty Ferret Doll, and it's a mini skein. I'm not entirely sure what the mini skein is. I used 8.5 metres or 2 grams. This is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. You get 85 metres and a 20 gram mini skein. Am I showing the back of the front? I did not. I thought I'd wove it in on the wrong side. The next one is this one here. This is West Yorkshire Spinners Signature 4-ply in the shade number 801, which is Forget Me Not. I use 16 grams, no didn't I use 16 metres or 4 grams. It's a 75% wool, 25% nylon. You get 400 metres and 100 grams. Got that Fibre magazine. I'll leave details in here what magazine it is, because I put it through the bedroom and I forgot to bring it through. This one here is, I have no clue. I don't know what it is or where I got it from. It's a red. I used 9 metres or 3 grams. It's some sort of soap blend. This one, again, don't know where that came from. Again, it's some sort of merino nylon blend. I used 11.4 metres and 3 grams. Look, wee bumblebee. Again, free with the magazine. It comes as a set. And removed my stitch markers, or I would have shown them. You get another wee bumblebee.
And a honeycomb.
And a flower.
And a honeycomb.
And a honeycomb. This one is, I don't know. Actually, all of these, apart from that one, I don't know. This one, I used 2 grams and 9.2 metres. This was an advent swap from Raylene last year. That was day 14. I used 16.4 metres and 4 grams. Love that. This one is Drops Fable. It is shade 330, which is Berry Dreams. I used 8.4 metres or 2 grams. That is a 75% wool, 25% nylon. You get 205 metres and 50 grams. I am loving this blanket. It's really nice to work on Zoom meetings, or if I just can't be bothered. So in total I have used 25 grams and 98.9 metres out my stash. Whoop, 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 whoop. But I'll talk about the pattern more later. My goal is to craft 26,000 metres in 2021. At the start of the week I had crafted 13,379.58 metres. Oh, that's right. Sorry, looking at the wrong one. I have crafted so far this year, I have used 98.9 metres, which brings my total to 13,478.47 metres. I've not brought anything in. Still on that no buy bus.
Of just well.
Yeah, my will's willing. And to my target I have 12,521.52 metres. So far this year I have crafted 1,965.8 metres. These totals are now correct. As I admitted on the Zoom on Tuesday, all my totals have been wrong for a while. So these are the properly updated ones. I have knitted 9,243.4 metres. I have spun 253 metres, and I have woven 2,017 metres.
I like how you've edited that for your total to go down.
What?
No, just that's quite a big drop in your total.
What's a big drop in my total?
Target. I think you've been lying.
No, it's not. My target, what was it? 12,000 metres.
I
have not decreased my totals. My total. I've not come any closer to completing my target. I'm getting further away because I've already added too much stuff.
I need to check the tapes. I didn't believe you.
I am taking part in the Ravelry Project Challenge. My challenge is to complete 28 projects in 2021. I am sitting at 19. I am currently at 68%. I may or may not finish something soon. But that is mine.
my goal was to craft 5,000 metres. My outgoing started as 579 metres. I've used 75.3 metres, which brings my total to a whopping 654.3 metres. Incoming, I've started as 2,463 metres. I've added nothing, so that remains the same. So to target, I am 4,345.7 metres. Whoop, whoop. Total overall that I've crafted is just knitting, which is 654.3 metres. In the Ravelry Project Challenge, I chose, in my optimal wisdom, to do 12 projects in 2021. It's halfway through it. I've finished 4. Which makes me and puts me at 33%. Need to get thine finger out.
Bear in mind you've got 3 other projects in, which will bring you up to 6.
Yeah, but one of those projects might take me to the end of the year to do it.
Now, we've added a new section in called the Naughty Corner. And this is where projects are going to go, rather than setting them on fire. As I mentioned last week, my Tunisian Mitre blanket, I'll stick a wee picture in. The bandwagon blanket by Beth Graham. It is currently in the Naughty Corner because I've just fell out of love with it. Thank you. I'm not loving it. But I want it. So, it's going to sit in time out. I'm hoping with the northeasterly that once I get the stuff that's in the mitered blanket in, I can then add the two of them in together. That might motivate me to stick it in. Now, the next project. I am not a happy chappy. In my lovely bag from Heather, which is battered and Arya hair, is my slip it socks. Now, I was working on them. Well, that's just peachy. Andrew has a job interview on Thursday, so I decided I'm going to take the socks and have a wee knit on them while I'm waiting. So I put a fair amount on, as you can see. I put a wee chunk on. So happy, and I thought, you know what, I need to see how far I'm needing to go for Ryan's leg. So on Thursday night I said to Ryan, go do me a favour, could you try these on just so I can see roughly how much more I'm needing in that. They don't.
Like too big, too small.
Far too wee.
So are they your size then?
Now, there's two problems. One, he couldn't get this bit over the heel. Now, I am using... I don't know what I've managed to do, but they don't fit.
Do they fit you?
I didn't try.
I think you.
I'm not trying because this wool was bought for Ryan. They are for Ryan's socks. I will make Ryan's socks out this wool, so I'm not going to try it on because if they don't fit me, if they fit me and they don't fit him, I will need to buy more of this to replace it, which means my totals go up.
Because I'm thinking you've knitted yourself out of socks.
Well,
right.
that is the thing. Normally when I knit Ryan socks, what I'll do is, more so on the foot, I will put stitch markers in. I didn't put stitch markers in. The heel sits like down here on his foot. If that was Ryan's actual foot, the heel sits down here. So I think I may have got the length wrong, but it was tight as anything trying to get it on. So I don't know whether, width wise on the foot he says it fits fine, so I don't know whether to take it back to here, to the heel, take the heel out and then redo them, or alternatively rip the heel thing out and get it in a bigger needle size. My concern with doing it in a bigger needle size is it'll be too baggy. Ryan has very slim and slender feet. His feet are massive, but they are slim. So I don't know. So that is my two projects that are in the naughty corner. They may be there a while until I figure out what I'm doing.
I've got three. My first of three whips, pigs must be flying, is in my lovely bag from Jane, elephant bag. That I don't need to move it yet because it's getting a bit, starting to get a bit too big. Is my, where's the front?
Oh, just stab me.
Habitation Throw by Helen Stewart.
How long has this been on the go and you kind of mind who makes this pattern?
I've put on about 3 rows. 3.
No, you've got 2 bumps, so that's 4 rows.
4 rows.
2, 4, 5. You've done 5 rows.
Slowly getting there. Liking it. It is fun to do. It's just the rows are starting to take a bit longer to get through. Not got much left of my little yarn ball to go through till I start the next one, and the decrease, and then it's the home run, home stretch.
Home stretch.
This is, where is my bit for it? Using the So Crafty rainbow yarn, which is an Aran. So this is the pageant, and this is the savannah. They are both 80% acrylic and 20% wool. You get roughly 350 metres and 200 grams. No, and 200 grams. It is a paid for pattern on Ravelry or through Etsy, and I am using 6mm higher sharps on a 42 inch cable.
My first project is absolutely battered in dog hair because I decided to come and lie on it. I need to do some jiggery pokery with my projects because this is too big for its bag. I have another 2 projects that don't have project bags because I've no aim to do the last ones. This is the Counting Sheet Blanket by Lisa Hannon Fox. It is getting on. Now, as is customary, when this blanket comes out, we need to count sheet faces. Last count we had 28. Now, sheet faces only count if it comes to, right, so it has to have a complete eye for the face to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Okay, point of the okay.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20, put your finger at the back, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. 35 wee sheepies. This, as I said before, it takes absolutely ages to do a row. I'm trying to get at least 2 rows in a day. Sometimes I manage it, sometimes I don't. I'm not going to force myself to work on it because I'll start hating it, and I really want this blanket. I am using the black is Robin DK double knitting in shade 44, which is black. The white is Fair something.
Isn't it Fair Yarn?
Yarn Fair. Tootsie, which is the colour is baby white. The Robin, you get 300 metres and 100 grams. It's 100% acrylic. The Tootsie, again, it's 100% acrylic. You get 150 metres and 50 grams. I am using a 3.75mm high sharp, and it's a paid for pattern on Ravelry. And links for the pattern can be found on the show notes. I'm just going to keep working on it, and hopefully at some point it will be finished because I want it to hang on my wall.
I can't believe you're knitting that just to hang up. My next project in my bag from Raylene, my kiwi bag, is my Star Stitch cushion too. When will I be done with you? First it started with woohoo. Now as it progresses, I just want it done. I'm getting.
Are you wishing you hadn't started it?
Aye. I'm not. Was proper stitched it. Was there last week, so I have got a good bit of progress on it, but it is kind of slow going. I don't know where the mojo went to finish it, because this should have been finished by now.
That's how I'm saying, see if you do a project like, see my Pure Comfort cardigan, I want another one of them. Will I do that within a couple of months so you haven't already finished it? No chance.
No, but this was just a cushion though.
It doesn't matter if it's just a cushion. You get sick of it.
But it will be finished, and I will possibly even get around to getting the other cushion made up. I like most of the wool in my stash. It is from So Crafty.
Which is Aldi's.
Aldi's wool. Woohoo! It is the baby yarn variety design, which is a chunky, and it is the Dove colour. It is 100% polyester. You get roughly 95 metres and 100 grams, and the pattern is not on Ravelry, it's on the yarn band.
Ball band,
yarn band. Over to you.
Do you see what size needle you're using?
No, it's not on there, but I think they're an 8. They are an 8. They're 8mm needle on a 32 inch cable. My first
whip is again my northeasterly blanket. This is a paid for pattern on Ravelry. You can also get it from Etsy. I am using modifications. I'm not making any modifications whatsoever. I am using various scraps that I've got in my stash. And I am using 2.75 Knit Pro Zang. I'm just going to keep working on it. I'm really enjoying this pattern. Absolutely love the centre spine. It's just, it gives me warm fuzzies. I'm really enjoying it. So I'm just going to keep working on it. And hopefully I will be finished eventually. I'm just going to enjoy the knitting.
This could be the same as a Tunisian miter blanket, where she does it and then goes.
No, because I can see better progress with this because you're just doing big long strips. What I will say, last week I said I was doing the 90 inches by 90 inches blanket. I didn't measure that before I started. I was talking to Ryan and he's like, 90 inches is a bit big, yeah. And I was like, no, it's fine. And he's like, no, it's big. So I measured it with a tape measure and I was like, no.
Isn't that going to be the size of the room?
It is massive. It is massive. I don't even think this room is 90 inches.
No.
Well, it might be without the couch and the sofa table being in. But it's not going to be 90 inches. I'm going for 60, which is more manageable. I do have plenty of yarn scraps to do it in.
My next and final whip, which again almost got not shown, started and only shown at the end, is the snood from the Sardar pattern 8206. There it is. I'm all tangled.
It's a scarf.
It's a snood. It's almost to where you basically you knit it flat, then join up at the end, and then it's a snood. Though technically I could do this and use it as a face mask.
That is not a snood. That is a cowl.
Face mask.
A snood is supposed to come up over your head.
Well, this one can, because it will be massive.
Go tell me how that's coming up and over your head, Andrew. Because you are knitting it flat. It is coming round like so.
Well then.
How are you supposed to get that up and over your head? It's not a snood. It is a cowl. They're wrong. Along with a pattern where it tells you need 3 balls. 2 balls for the tippet. It takes 3.
Somebody's triggered.
I'm very triggered.
This, I'm making no modifications apart from the fact that I'm just calling it a cowl.
It's a cowl. It is not a snood. It is a cowl.
It's using...
I will insert a picture of a snood. That is not a snood. It's a cowl.
Can I speak now?
Yes, you may.
Rant over. It is using the Sardar Alpine Super Bulky shade number 402.
Do you have a ball band?
No. Which is the seal for the hat. I'll bring a ball band. Unless I finish that, then maybe I won't. It is 100% manufactured fibres, which is polyester. And again...
You keep stabbing me in the knee!
That's on purpose. It is, again, you get 33 metres and roughly 50 grams. And I'm using my own bought 10mm needles. Pink needles. Woo. It is a paid for pattern on Ravelry, though I didn't get it off Ravelry. I bought the pattern.
Sardar have some of their patterns available to purchase from Ravelry. If you search the pattern number in Google or whatever search engine that you use, it will tell you where to buy it from. However, I'm pretty sure it's cheaper on Ravelry than what Andrew paid for it.
I am liking this, and hopefully it will be finished today.
Are you hoping to finish? 2 weeks in a row you're going to have a finished object?
Yeah.
Now, I have another project to talk about, and I didn't put it in the show notes, and I have absolutely no idea what the wool's called. So, well, I know what the wool's called, but I don't have any idea of the shade numbers. On Instagram a few weeks back, the lovely Albina had put a post on saying she was looking for pre-knitters for her cardigan. Now, I'll stick a picture in. Actually, I'll stick a couple of pictures in. You get a stripy one, you get all different colours. It is gorgeous. When I seen it, the first one that I saw, look at Andy being all nice and getting me on my project page up. He's such a good boy. This is the blurry, I am assured that's how you say it. This is going to be my blurry rainbow. What shall I say that? Ignore the blue at the bottom, because that's my provisional cast on. Now, Albina does show you how to do the cast on. I tried it twice and I hurt my wrist, so I've just done a crochet cast on at the bottom. I'm doing a rainbow and I'm doing it really bright, and Ryan keeps making fun of me because of my rainbow cardigan. Now, am I likely to go out the house in this? Probably not.
As in our
Probably. What?
What is it, Joseph and his
Amazing Technicolor Dreams coat.
Aye, that one.
This is it here. The purple is going to have to come out because I got a bit carried away last night, and I started this yesterday, and literally that was done in a few hours. It's so easy. It's just scatter. I'm using acrylic. Now I do have wool blends of proper woolly wool. I am allergic. Albina designed the Nelta shawl that was in the podcast, I think last week. I had that on with nothing. Well, there was something underneath it. I had a tank top on, and I came out in blisters and red marks, and it was not fun. I am running very hot at the moment, so I'm not wanting a proper wool on, because I may have to put like a vest top or a tank top on. So I'm just doing acrylic, and I like it, and it's going to be lovely. And once I'm finished this, I'm making another one out of the limited edition big value.
Okay.
I'm making one out of that, and it's not the duck egg because I don't have enough. I'm sure it's denim, and I'll edge it in duck egg.
Is that just so you can see you've got a denim cardigan?
No. This is Robin double knit in shade 42, which is red. This one I'm sure is Robin double knit. That is shade number 60 in acid yellow. The pink, again Robin double knit, shade number 46 in pink. The green, it's Woolcraft New Fashion double knitting, and it's shade number 407, which is lime.
Just so you can see the difference, because I know for me the pink and
the pink, I'm struggling. At times it looks white. I think I could have done that in a different colour, but I'm too far gone. I ain't ripping it back out. The orange is Hayfield Bonus DK. It is shade number 981, which is bright orange. The purple is Pound Stretchers Bright Colours DK. It is shade number 220, which is purple. They are all acrylic. I'm not going to run through how many metres you get in 100 grams. They'll all be on the show notes. The next colour after the purple we go in is Pound Stretcher's colours in the teal. That's not been added yet because I've not got that far. I love this pattern. It is awesome. I will hopefully have a coming in next week, which is the buttons for these. I've seen nice mother of pearl buttons to go on this.
Pearl.
And what did I say?
Pearl.
It is pearl.
I thought it was mother of pearl. Pearl
No.
necklace. Oh,
No.
is it pearl?
It's a pearl necklace. No, what you keep saying is, I need to pearl. And I say, no, Andrew, it's pearl. This is actually correct. It is mother of pearl buttons. And hopefully they'll be coming during the week. But I'm just going to keep working on it. It's lovely. So I'm just going to keep working away on this forevermore until it's finished, and then I'm going to have a very colourful cardigan. And do you know what? I probably would go out in that. I wanted something bright and I wanted a rainbow, so I've made one. I am using a 4.5 Knit Pro Zang to get gauge. I think it's awesome. Look, I can rub it on my face and no come out in a rash. Is that everything? I think so. I keep looking at the show notes going, why can I not find the details? Because it's not on there. So I'm just going to keep working on it, and hopefully we'll get more progress next week. I am going to stick a wee stitch marker in. I've stuck a stitch marker. I've stuck a wee beehive in the orange because this is coming out this afternoon. I have a very, very sore stomach. I do not feel well. I am not feeling great. I have a really, really sore side. The whips, the UFOs are lined up. They're still the same as the last couple of weeks. The only thing added on is Rivet just come out of whips and went into UFOs. What do we have lined up for this week? We have a couple of courses on Monday and Wednesday.
Businessy stuff for, is it this or the yarn?
Yarn.
Yarn.
Ryan is unable to attend because he will actually be working. So I will be doing them for him and taking notes.
I have yet another job interview on Wednesday.
So hopefully Andrew has lots of time on his hands at the moment. He's going to find out next week whether he's got a job or not. If you are wanting to take part in Jane's Advent Swap, I will leave details down below and in the show notes. Don't think there's anything else. Nope, I am going to take some painkillers. This may go out today, or it may go out tomorrow.
Or next week.
Or next week if my internet cuts out again. But I think that's about it.
Yes.
I am in a lot of pain. I don't know what's wrong. That came on all of a sudden. So we hope you have a very crafty week, and we will see you back here again next week.